Hey crypto YouTubers, this is coinpicker.us and I've got an update on where we're at with the market today. Also some news that was rather big with Binance and what the most important crypto to hold right now is. Stay tuned. Okay, so I am back at it, and on a monthly basis, Bitcoin has a fairly large move up headed our way. So it's not around the corner, but it's in a fairly short order. Um, it's also not an extreme move yet because we would like to see CCI a little bit lower. I mean, basically the spring coiled a bit more. We're not there yet, but we're setting up for it. So I'm on the watch. As far as on the weekly basis, it's more downtrend than anything, but we are getting to the point of somewhat of a reversal in the CCI. We're not quite there yet, but not very far away. So all this is in terms of several days, a weekish or more. Now on a daily basis, we are getting a bit extreme, not quite there, but getting a bit extreme in the stochastic RSI. We've already seen that sort of tail back, and we're going to see this crossover. CCI is headed down, and that's going to be this will be the setup for the weekly and monthly reversal for a nice move up. Now, let's take a look at Ethereum versus BTC and where that's going because there's so much counteraction on Ethereum. Actually, Ethereum looks slightly more positive than BTC right now, but nothing's tearing it up. Let's put it that way. I would not be involved in short-term trading on these. Let's see what we got here. Litecoin looks like it's heading down. It actually had a move up, relatively speaking, and on a daily basis, it looks like it's headed down, and on a weekly basis, trending with an upside reversal coming soon, is what that says. It's trending with an upside reversal on a weekly basis, which kind of mimics what's going on with BTC. On a monthly basis, it is nowhere near as positive as BTC. On a monthly basis, in fact, it looks opposite. It looks like it's headed down. So not a LTC does not appear to be a super strong place to be. Now, the one place that is super interesting right now is EOS, and it's not because of the price action of EOS, although as some of you have followed my videos are aware, I entered into a trade. It's still running, and it went fine. It over 30% profit near term, and still going fine. But that's not the primary reason to be in EOS right now. On a weekly basis, EOS is sort of if it has a tendency now to move down at this point, but it also could move up, just doesn't look like a moonshot. Now, what is likely to happen and I actually I hate being that equivocal. Basically, trending is where I would call this right now. Trending is what it looks like. Not a strong up, not a strong down. Now, on a daily basis, we are headed down and looks moderately powerful on the downside, so we could retrace a fair amount. But the big picture on EOS is, and I think I lost it here. Darn it, I wanted to show this to you. Maybe I've got it here. Let's see here. Nope, I blew it. Let's see here. Maybe it's here. Maybe it's here. Let's see here. What I wanted to show was the list of airdrops coming. Yeah, I totally blew it. Airdrops for EOS. There are several. I think I found 6 at least airdrops for EOS. 6 at least that are coming in the near term. Let's see. These are airdrops. There's a list of them, and I had it all pulled up, ready to go, and I blew it. There it is. There it is. Okay, I didn't blow it. Here we go. So some of these have already passed, and I don't know how that worked when EOS itself really wasn't out there. But if you had the Ethereum EOS token, that was fine. June 15th, we get one, another some point of June. This one's unpublished. Another one. So that one may have already happened, and several other ones later. So at the very minimum, I would say stick around with EOS. Hold on to it if you want to until middle of June passes, grab some of this free cash, convert it as fast as you're like, as you would like to, based on what you assess the probability for the future of the crypto space is in that particular coin. Now, my recommendation is generally, with few exceptions, you're better off converting out early at least a portion. Maybe you hold placeholder amounts or the lottery ticket amount, but generally you're better off converting out early, and that's been the case with a lot of different projects, unless you happen to have an exceptional leader, an exceptional team, and some of these are. I haven't gone through all these. In fact, I don't think I've gone through any of them. But we have several, as you can see. So that's one of the primary reasons I'm in the trade. I mean, obviously, I bought it at a lower point, and it's risen, and that's great. But the bigger money, the extra 5, 10, 15, 20% added on, is going to be from these airdrops. So that's what I wanted to bring up. Now, another interesting topic these days is what's going on in the general market. You know what? I'm going to come up and I'm going to get that ad warning. Let me do it right here. We're going to take a look at what's going on in the general market these days, and I'm going to give you, this is just a 2-second opinion of the long-term video that I'm putting together. A lot of research is going into it, putting together for the first half will be for everybody. The second half, with all the details, will be for subscribers. But essentially, what it says is I would ignore the noise in the commodity space for the foreseeable, couple of months through summer into the end of the year. Just take positions is all I'm doing. Take positions, and I would say gold and silver, they're going to go up, they're going to go down, they're not going to go up through the roof at all. I don't see that at all happening right now. In fact, I do see a potential downward move, but it's just a period to accumulate positions. Crude oil, unless there are some major political moves which would open up areas of oil development, crude oil is eventually going to be going up significantly, and that's going to power the rest of the move for commodities. But this is a great period of time to take positions. Now, as far as the indices go, the rest of the market, let's take a look at it here. And I know those of you in the crypto space may not be all that interested in this, but I think I would suggest that there is some application. So we've actually touched off and are close to near highs in NASDAQ. S&P and 500 are not doing quite as well as the NASDAQ seems to be. Small cap is doing very well. Around the world, we have the markets in significant turmoil because of what's going on with Italy and Argentina, even Portugal, still with Greece. All of these countries, even Canada, is about to get mollywopped with what's going on in their real estate sector, and debt bubbles are bursting. And Deutsche Bank, if Deutsche Bank goes under with 1.8 trillion in their derivatives books, we are looking at significant challenges to the market picture. So longer term, now there may be money to be made, minor amount for very fleet-footed investors and traders. This goes for the crypto space as well, by the way, for some upside moves, but the longer term move in the general US markets is down. So if you were to buy in and hold, with the exception of commodity areas, and there you'll have to be, fleet-footed as well, with the exception of those areas, if you were to buy in and hold for a year, 2, 3, 4 years, you will, with virtual certainty, either tread water, have minor gains, more than likely have very significant losses. In the commodity space, you're probably going to see some initial losses with long-term gains. And commodity gains can often go up 10x or more. It's how Jim Rogers and George Soros made all their billions, millions for Rogers, billions for Soros, with Quantum Fund many, many moons ago. Over a decade, they just multiplied their assets dramatically by trading in the commodity space. So that's what's going to happen in the commodity market. But we're not quite there yet. It's a great place to take positions. The general stock market, if you buy in now, you're going to be setting yourself up for losses in the not too distant future. So that's my recommendation. Now, as far as the crypto space goes, it's a fleet-footed market. You've got to be able to get in and out. If we take a look at the coin market cap right now, let's take a look here, see what, if anything, is happening. If you take a look at what is positive, DigXDA is a commodity based. It's a horrible way to get into commodity gold, but it is commodity based um, cryptocurrency. And a lot of these others are, Centrality's been heavily promoted, but it's barely even up. Skycoin is an interesting project. In fact, that's on my recommended list, by the way. Those of you who are on that have done, outside better than the market. But by and large, we're not seeing a lot of breadth of positive movement in the crypto space. So it's a fleet-footed market. You have to be able to target the projects, which is why I'm in EOS right now. Target the projects that are going to show outsized returns, and you can still pick up that 10, 20, 30% return in a month, in a couple of days, weeks, month, that kind of thing. That is huge money when you aggregate those kinds of trades. So that's what we want to do. Now the other thing that's really important is to avoid losses. And for those of you who are sitting on losses, you have to decide whether or not you want to hold on or take the losses. I generally take the losses and move on if I happen to be in that situation. I'm very aggressive about avoiding losses though, very aggressive, which is why I probably trade more than most of you would be comfortable with. But the point of it is that if you enter in the stock market, better have tight losses because there is going to be a watershed time. I'm not saying we're going to have a crash tomorrow, but it's that long term. If you enter now, long term, you have a high probability of seeing a decrease in your assets. In the commodity space, you have a high probability of seeing an increase in your assets. You have to know how to get in and out of it. It's a little bit more complicated environment, but that's what I'll be doing with my subscriber section and even in my free newsletter, which I encourage everybody to sign up for right here. I always show this every now and then just for people to see where to go. You go here, but one of the things that I'm working on right now, and I've got to pay the big fee for, is to get the Twitter data. I've already got it set up. I've already done the coding, and that is going to be going live as soon as we sign up for the big API service. It's costing a lot of money to get the data, but it's going to really help us find things like, the jumps like this, the DIGIX DAO jump and things like that. In fact, if we go to another page, let's see what else is happening on the second page. Okay, wow, Papex, that's a monster jump. That's the kind of thing that we want to catch. I've never even heard of this one, but that's the kind of thing that we want to catch with this Twitter indicator. Social media indicator is a better way to put it because it's a little bit broader. But yeah, just go here, sign up at coinpicker.us, and I will be sending out another update here to give you some ideas on how to trade these markets to A, avoid the losses, and B, jump on some big trades and make a little bit of money here. My last one that I sent out, I know one of my subscribers jumped on it, and within a day or so, they had banked 30% plus, and that was in a down market. So that's the kind of thing that can happen. But anyway, this is coinpicker.us, and we will talk with you soon.